So let's talk about buying a home now in Florida versus waiting and what it could cost you if you wait. So I'm actually out here in the beautiful neighborhood of Coral Ridge in East Fort Lauderdale. I was checking out some homes for one of you that's actually moving out here pretty soon, and I figured I'd pop out the camera and talk about buying a home in Fort Lauderdale because I've been getting a lot of questions lately of whether you should buy now or should you wait, what's gonna happen if I wait. So let's address everything. And before we get started, I want to remind you that I am a realtor here in Florida and I love making these videos, but I love even more to earn your real estate business. Feel free to give me a call, text, or email anytime. I'd love to help you in any way that I can. So starting off, everybody's situation is going to be different when it comes to buying a home. And there's actually a couple questions that you're going to want to ask yourself first. And the first question is how long do you plan on living in that home for? And this is going to be different for everybody, whether you're just looking to make a quick flip and make a quick buck, or if you're actually looking for a home to live in 5+ years or longer. And the second question is going to be how much money do you want to spend? And not necessarily on the price of the home, but how much money do you want to spend monthly? Something that I notice pretty frequently is that what one person is pre-approved for and what they're comfortable with spending monthly does not seem to line up. And this is something that you really want to get dialed in, especially with that monthly payment, because while yes, the overall price of the home is important, the monthly payment is what you're actually going to be stuck with every month, and it's something that you're going to just want to make sure you're comfortable with until we can mitigate that, which we'll talk about later in this video. So what does the market look like now? Well, yes, there is more sellers than there are buyers at the moment. And something that we haven't seen in a while is that Fort Lauderdale is actually right just about at a buyer's market. So we're sitting at 5 months of inventory, which is crazy because just a year ago we were at 3 months, which was still right on the cusp of a seller's market. And so you can see how much changed in just a year. And that's just single family homes, which usually there's a shortage of. When it comes to condos, we're sitting at 6 months of inventory compared to 2.5 months last year. And just a refresher in case you don't know what the months of inventory means. Basically, if all the existing homes that are on the market right now, if we sold out of all of them without putting another home on the market, we would run out of homes in 5 months for single family and 6 months for condos. It's also worth noting that the price of homes is still appreciating, but much slower than it has been in the last couple years. So you're probably thinking, well, how can this market be in favor of a buyer when I can't even afford to pay the prices that these homes are worth? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But let's get into interest rates and some predictions. So interest rates have been hiked 11 times since March of 2022, and obviously we've felt that. We're sitting at 8% right now, which is a 23-year high, and the Fed is actually not expected to make any more rate hikes this year, and it's said that the central bank will actually be cutting rates 3 times next year. So what does that mean? Well, like I said, there's more sellers than there are buyers right now, and I'm working with a handful of buyers that are pre-approved, but they're just not taking that next step into making a purchase. And that's kind of the majority of what we're seeing all across the board. So we have all these buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting for prices to come down or waiting for interest rates to come down. Now, what do you think is going to happen in 2024? It looks like it's going to rain here. I may have to get through this quickly. What do you think is going to happen in 2024? Let's say the mortgage interest rates go from 8 down to 6%, God forbid 5%. All these pre-approved buyers are gonna flood the market just like they did in 2021. Now, considering there's a new floor of pricing when it comes to homes, I don't think it's gonna be at the same level or to the same extent that it was in 2021 when we were seeing 25% appreciation on homes. But just for some context, homes in the metro area did appreciate year over year. 6%, and that's with the higher interest rates. So I do believe that we can see prices appreciate at 10% or more in 2024. Could it be more? Yeah, but I'm not one to make predictions like that. So where does that leave you? Right in the same position that you're in now. An increase of buyers will cause the inventory to shrink, and leave all the buyers fighting for homes just like they were in 2021. Again, I don't think we're gonna see 25% increases, but we're definitely gonna see something. So what are your options and how can we make this work in your favor? Well, let's assume that you're pre-approved right now and you're comfortable with the monthly payment. You may not like it, but you're comfortable with it. Well, you have options to choose from right now. Not only do you have options, but you don't have competition. So you can actually get the home that you love. And don't forget, there was a point in time where interest rates were at 8%. And I know what everybody's gonna say, well, that was a long time ago. The price of homes was much less. Yes, that is true, but salaries were also much less. The cost of living was also much less. Everything was relative. So you decide you wanna buy now, I can give you two options that you can use right now. Number one, you buy at an 8% interest rate, and once that rate hits 5 to 6%, you have the option to refinance. Yes, it costs money to refinance, roughly around 2 to 5%, similar to closing costs. And the second option is called a 2-to-1 buy down, which essentially means the seller of the home is contributing to your interest rate, buying it down basically. So we're starting to see more and more sellers contribute towards buyers' closing costs because we're not in that market anymore. And basically what it means is for the first year of your loan, your interest rate is 2 points less. So if you buy at 8%, it's gonna be 6% for the first year. Then for the second year, it's 1 point less, so it would be 7%. And then for the third year, it resumes the normal 8%, at which that point you can refinance. So the point of me making this video is not to convince you to buy right now, but it's to let you know that you do have options and just to make you aware of what could happen if you do decide to wait. But whichever direction you lean towards, I'm gonna be here either way, so make sure to screenshot this number for later, or feel free to reach out to me right now. Go to the link in my description, book a Zoom call, and I'm happy to help you any way I can. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one.